so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program. Thank you so much. The few people have been able to join me on this very platform today. Please, as you join, help me to share the program on your own platform. Help me to share to family and friends. Share it any place you belong. Please make sure you share. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, we must continue to send out the message and send out the broadcast to the world. No matter what the people have to say, we will continue. No matter how they try to stop us, we will continue to send out this message and make sure that the world hears us. That is why we are here. Remember, on this very platform, this is an autopiloted platform, autopiloted by Chukwu Okike himself under the spokesmanship of Mazi Simon Ekpa. And on the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is where we stand, speaking the truth and the truth always. I say happy Sunday to everyone that is watching, any place you are watching from. I wish you a very happy Sunday. Today is Sunday, a day that we come together to worship. Christians, those of us who are Christians, this is a day that all Christians come out to worship in truth and in spirit. A day that Christians come together to worship Chukwu Okike in their own way of understanding. And myself, I am a Christian. After worshiping as a Christian, I never forget that I'm a Biafran. I still worship as a Biafran every Sunday, as I always tell you. That as long as I live, I will continue to worship as a Biafran and continue to make my voice heard to the Biafran people. And today, I am here once again, doing what I do every Sunday. In our former platform, King David Exploit Expose, we are not able to broadcast there so that we can be able to reach out to more people because of the restrictions we have there. They didn't allow us to go live on King David's Exploit Expose. I couldn't go live there. So I say I cannot be idle, I cannot be silent, I cannot be shut down. I still have to come through these means to speak to you people. This is my other platform, which is Chooks for Survival. Please, as you have joined, share the program and also make sure you reach out to other people. Share it and follow this very platform. This is where we're going to be broadcasting until we get a lift of the band on the other platform. So, fellow Biafrans, the few people that have joined me, others can watch later, as I have shared it also on King David Exploit Expose. I believe that many other people will join us as time goes on. So, I appreciate everybody who has been connected and connected. Please make sure you follow this very platform because we are going to be broadcasting here most of the time because of the restrictions we are having on our side. You never can tell. So that whenever we lose one side, we can be always to have one side to be able to reach out to Biafrans. So as many as are able to join this program, I appreciate you. I thank you very much. Share it and share it and share it so that people can begin to join and get to know this platform. We will continue to broadcast here until we can be able to reach out. Thank you so much and stay blessed. Today being Sunday, as you all know, we have to continue doing what we have to know, what we know how to do best. Continue to send out the information to Biafran people and continue to sensitize Biafran people, which is our main objective and main aim, to make sure we reach out to Biafran people for us to know whom we are. We must know whom we are. We must not allow someone else to define us. We must not allow a stranger to tell us who we are or a stranger to define us. We must have to know who we are. We are Biafrans, the children of Chukwu Okike. We are the people who will worship Chukwu Okike in truth and in spirit, no matter what the world says, no matter the attack that comes from east, west, north, and south, no matter the hindrances that can come from any angle, you must not be deterred. Don't allow anybody to pull you down. Don't allow anybody to demoralize you. Don't allow anybody to talk you down. Continue to stand firm and stand on what you believe. Today we can see what is playing out everywhere. We can see that it has become much more evident that we are not needed in that contraption called Nigeria. As long as we are not needed, we cannot force them. You cannot force them to accept you. Once you say you are not wanted in the place, once you have said that you have overstayed your welcome, you take a leave. If you don't take a leave, the only thing you're going to get is insult. And that is what the Biafran people are getting today because they have refused to take a leave. And Chukwu Okike have now made it in such a way that even the indigenous people in the contraption called Nigeria are now going to force you to take a leave. They are now persuading us to take a leave. And in this time, we have no excuse anymore. No one of us have excuse. You don't have any excuse to give. We don't have any excuse. It has become mandatory that we must have to pursue that which is right. Follow it up and make sure we get our freedom. We must follow it up. Don't wait for anybody to pursue you. Don't wait for anybody to persuade you. This time we have to take back our own nation, which is Biafra, make it established. So many of you must have seen the videos that are going viral, the video of our spokesperson, Master Samuel, who is making wave across the world, speaking for the Biafran people across the world. He's in Denmark. He went to Denmark in a meeting, which most of us have seen on the media, where he's expressing the plight of the Biafrans, explaining the problem of Biafrans and solutions that we are looking forward to. This is how to build bridge. It is not just by gossiping or just by attacking your own brother or just by saying relevant things. This is the time for you to make a strong statement so that the world can hear you and hear you clear. And that is what our spokesperson, Master Simon, is doing. As he is doing his own part, you and I must have to continue to do our own part. We must be consistent on our own side and continue to hold firm our ground. Our Supreme Namazen Nandekano is still in detention. He is still in the hand of the ESS. Don't forget, we have set aside a day for him. Monday, every Monday. The Monday sit at home will continue. No matter the threat they bring to us, no matter the propaganda you see, this is the only strong weapon that we have. Do not allow them to take it away from you. The Monday sit at home is the strongest weapon we have in this struggle. And the Biafran people, we have held this very weapon for almost 2 years now. For 2 years, and we have been standing very strong. We have made a lot of difference with this very stand that we are holding. Do not allow anybody to take it away from you. Do not allow anybody anywhere to take it away from you. Continue to hold firm on that which you know is valuable. The only strong weapon and valuable weapon we have is that sit at home. Sit at home undoubtedly have achieved a lot. The sit at home have achieved a lot, including on the situation of our Supreme Namazen Nandekano. It is that same sit at home that made his voice become very, very loud. We gave our Supreme Namazen Nandekano a voice that he never had in detention. We gave Mazen Nandekano a voice that the world we have continued to talk about him. Even in the middle of their election and all their scam, they can't stop talking about Mazen Nandekano. Everybody keep remembering him. Everybody keep thinking about him. Everybody keeps talking about him. It is because of this Monday sit at home. It has become a thorn on their flesh. And they are fighting strong on all angles to see that they take it away from us. You must not allow them to take away that weapon from us. No matter how they try, no matter what they do, no matter their strategy, no matter their threat, do not allow them. This is the only thing you have. This is the only thing you have. As we have entered into the recovering of Biafra land, the recovering process has started. It has already started. It has already started. In few months' time, you are going to see it much more clearer than you have ever seen it before. You know, when we say, some people will say, "Oh, you have given off time. We have seen it. We didn't see this. We didn't see that. We didn't see it." You are going to see these things you want to see. Just patience. The only thing you have to do is to be consistent in what you are doing. Our Supreme Namazen Nandekano reminded us and told us that consistency is the key. As long as you remain consistent in your actions, as long as you remain consistent in your demand, as long as you remain consistent in your request, we will definitely overcome. We shall overcome. Do not mind what anybody is going to tell you from any angle of any corner. Do not mind the blackmail you're going to hear. Do not mind the propaganda you're going to be hearing from east, west, north, and south. Those blackmail will always be there. But I bet you, as long as you continue to stand firm and stand strong, you have no reason to regret. You have a reason to celebrate at the end of the day. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is light at the end of the tunnel. If anybody tells you there won't be light at the end of the tunnel, tell that person that he's a liar. There will be light at the end of the tunnel. No matter what the enemy does, no matter the attack they bring against us, no matter the attack they bring to us from east, west, north, and south, from any angle, no matter the weapon of their warfare, we are going to overcome. Today, it has become evident and obvious that the center cannot hold anymore. The contraption can no longer hold anymore. You have seen what their election have brought. The election of selection they call, the selection have exposed them more than ever. The contraption called Nigeria has been exposed now much more than ever.
in history of Nigeria. They have been pretending about their diversity. They will tell you that diversity is their strength. Today, the whole world has seen that the diversity in that contract called Nigeria is a destructive one. The kind of diversity you have in Nigeria is a diversity that will make sure that no one survives. That is what you see. More especially, the tribal divide, the tribal divide is something you cannot write home about. It's something you cannot pretend about. It is something that you can, the more you continue to pretend about the tribal divide, the more you continue to pretend about it, the more you continue to endanger the life of the people. If you are from any part of the world and you care about the Nigerian people, you must begin to speak and call for the end of that contraction. If you care about the lives of the people in that contraction, you must come out and begin to speak and demand for the end, peaceful end of that contraction. If you don't do so, it is going to be catastrophic. It is going to be catastrophic. And when it becomes catastrophic, let me tell you, nobody's going to be saved. Nobody's going to be saved. May Chukwu Okukabiyama give us the grace to succeed what is coming. Every Biafran has to prepare his or her mind. They have told us in parable. They have spoken to us face to face. They have spoken to us in annoyance. They have attacked us, and they have telling us to our face that we are not wanted anywhere. Do not forget so soon. You have been doing this same thing over and over again. It doesn't work. Is it not high time you wake up? Is it not high time you wake up? Since 1950s, since 1940s, they have been killing Biafran people, taking the life of innocent people, and yet you pretend not to hear, including the Civil War. After they committed genocide against the Biafran people, and they told us no victory, no vanquish. Then we said, okay, let's move on and see if it works. They didn't work. It never worked. All their 3R they promised, they never implemented any one. Not even a single one was implemented. As if that is not enough. We carried on with our life to see if things can be managed. What do we see? From that civil war up to date, there has always been attack against the Biafran people at any slighted provocation. Even a provocation that is not done by the Biafran people, they are the ones that face the brutality. And this is the truth. When there is a protest all across the world against Islam, they come against the Biafran people. You heard about the cartoon protest when the cartoon was tattooed in Denmark, as far as Denmark. In Europe, something that doesn't have anything to do with Africa, Biafrans were attacked in Nigeria. Every time you hear about protest, attack, any time in that contraction, it's always against the Biafran people, against their properties. This is hatred that has been planted from the origin. A foundational hatred that cannot go out except you break it up. The Biafrans can only regain their respect when they get out of the contraction called Nigeria. That is why we are begging and asking that every Biafran should wake up and let us go back home. We have to go back home. The only time we can regain our respect is when we have our own nation. When we have our nation, we can equally live anywhere we want to live. We can have business any place we want to have business, but you must have your own home, a place you call home. Anytime they attack us, at the end of the day, we say, let's move on and see if it will work. Yet it never worked. Even the so-called one Nigeria talking about, the people that are holding the one Nigeria, why you're talking about them, is because of the Biafran people. It is because of the Biafran people, more especially the Igbo Biafrans. That is why you still hear about the contraption called Nigeria. They are the one holding the banner. They are the one holding the rope. Why don't you let go of that rope? It has reached an elastic limit. It has reached an elastic limit. And if you don't leave it, the way it's going to cut off, a lot of people are going to lose their life. That is why you must prepare yourself for what is coming. This very statement has been made time and time again with people who call themselves Nigerians, that they do not want you. Yet you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen. What do you want? You want your head to be off before you can be able to understand the language they speak? Each time you hear a riot in the north, it has been one riot or the other in the northern part of Nigeria against the Biafran people, even in issues that doesn't have anything to do with them. Look at during the time of Abiola, When Abiola election was, it wasn't the Biafran that rigged the election of Abiola. In fact, Biafran supported Abiola election. But when you heard about the also Abiola, the attack was against Biafran people, against their properties. And this envy is so much that the people who are fighting against the Biafran people are not pretending about it. They are not pretending about it. Anytime there is any slightest chance, they will go after our businesses. They will go after our properties. They will go after our life. At every given opportunity, they come at us with everything they have. How long shall we continue to fall a victim of this very dehumanization? How long? It has become much more clear than ever that the only way out, the only way we can earn respect is by having our own nation. It is not out of hatred. It is not because of our resources. It is not about whatever they call it. It has become necessary because our life is in danger. The reason why we are asking for what we are asking for, the reason why we are crying on a daily basis, the reason why we are speaking on various platforms, demanding and asking for the end of the contraption is because our life is in danger. We have become an endangered species in a country where we are supposed to be first-class citizens. If there are any tribe that deserve to be first-class citizens, it is the Biafrans, because they have given it all. The Biafrans are the only ones in that contraption that have given it all, in all manner of life. They have sacrificed everything sacrificable for that same contraption to work. But it has become very clear that the more sacrifice you make, the more you are hated. The more sacrifice you make, the more you are not wanted. The more sacrifice you make, the more you are not needed anywhere in that contraption. So why will you continue to listen? Why will you continue to be part of a place where you are not wanted? Why? Why? When we talk about the disintegration, it is not out of hate. It does not mean that those of us who have become in-laws, those of us who have married over there, those of us who have business over there, it doesn't mean that you will not still have business over there. It doesn't mean that you cannot still marry with them. Just have it at the back of your mind that there are Biafrans that get married to Muslims. They are together. Biafrans marry from all parts of the world. They marry from Russia, they marry from Asia, they marry from America, they marry from all parts of Europe. Does that stop your citizenship? It doesn't stop whom you are. It doesn't stop whom you are. The only place we are not recognized is in that contraption where we claim to be our home that is never our home. People who are competing with us out of jealousy, not having a healthy competition. If they were competing with the Biafrans in a healthy form, it is allowed. Having a healthy competition is very much allowed. How I wish they can allow for a healthy competition. It is because of their envy and jealousy. That is why they are holding the Biafrans down on all different fronts. Why are you holding Biafrans down? Why are you stopping Biafran from progressing? These are the people who don't care about the poor masses. They don't care about the ordinary people. A country that wants to grow, that cares about its own people, we make sure that there is a healthy competition. A healthy competition in a situation where everybody can aspire to whatever they want to aspire to. Everybody can excel to the level of their capacity. That is how it's supposed to be. That is how a country is being run. So many countries in this world, so many countries of the world today have 3, 4, 5 airports and seaports. All their region and other zone have their seaport. Every state, I can tell you, in so many countries, all their states have their international airport. Flights can go out and come in. But in that contraption called Nigeria, because you want to maltreat the Biafrans, because you want to keep Biafrans in cage, because you want to limit the growth of the Biafran people, you have decided not to make them to have access to necessary amenities that will let them grow in their own area. You deny them the seaport. Even though when you are complaining, the whole world is seeing, you are shouting that the seaport in Lagos is congested. Very much congested. And yet, you are complaining that your Lagos is overpopulated by Biafrans. And you know the reason why they are there. You know that the containers you have in your seaport, 80% of the containers that come to the seaport is coming for the Biafran people. They are the one that import those goods. Don't you see that there is need for you to grant them a seaport? Don't you see there is need for a seaport to be in Biafran land? A functionable seaport. You couldn't be able to permit it. Instead, you went and you begin to build an extension. Instead, you have gone to Kaduna to go and build a dry port. Meanwhile, the people who are investing, committing their money and business, who their business requires this very thing,